And welcome to JFPSports, where fantasy and sports talk lives. Well, Rick, it is Monday afternoon, and do we have news for you guys? Let's start with the NFL first. It'll probably take majority of this show. Free agent frenzy is pretty much over with. The big cats have signed. Let's start off first with the big trade, though, that didn't come via free agency, which is OBJ to the Cleveland Browns. Now, looking at your phone, I believe it was either Saturday night or something of that eve of free agency, and he gets traded to Cleveland. What was your reaction?
I was actually not on the scene. You were the first one to tell me. I was actually picking up my mother from the airport.
I'm Adam Schefter on the low.
Right, you're right. You're Adam Schefter. Right, after the thousands of people have already seen it.
But go on with your story.
No. So I actually didn't hear it from the source. I heard it from you, but at the same time, I think it's interesting that the Cleveland Browns have made this move only because they're all in. We haven't really seen that from the Browns ever. Honestly, not in my lifetime. Probably not in yours either. You're not that much older than me. But I think Baker Mayfield has really changed the organization. We can go back to Sean Kaiser, Brady Quinn, Josh Campbell, and this is just Colt McCoy, just to name a few. We obviously don't have everything in front of us, but those are just the guys off the top of my head. They haven't won. They're not invigorating. Baker Mayfield is invigorating. I don't know if he's going to ever reach his ceiling, which I think his ceiling could be of a Russell Wilson elk. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's going to get to that point, but at least for the Browns' sake, he's gotten them to the point where they're all in. And as long as they're all in, their fans will be all in. And as long as their fans are all in, it's good for the league. Because now you're on the Bengals bandwagon. You still think they're decent. I think they're disgusting and atrocious, and Marvin Lewis stinks. At the same time,
Marvin Lewis ain't there anymore, bro.
How long was he there forever before they didn't win a playoff game?
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad.
My whole life.
It's like a bad presidency, just kept going.
Right, but at least the president's got to be out after at the most 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years.
Right, you can give him two terms. Yeah. And all I know is after the first presidency, if he's still elected, that means some people liked him.
Yeah.
So it's a 4-year period. Marvin Lewis was given my entire life. So I don't know. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that he was great or whatever. He did great things. What did he do? When did mediocrity become a thing? But in all seriousness, I think getting Odell on a football standpoint will be a problem, obviously. I want to talk about more off the field issues. Cleveland Brown fan that works with me, he brought up there's going to be too much dancing. And I said, well, what do you mean? If they're touchdowns, what do you get? He goes, no. He goes, Cleveland, for the first time, will be playing well, but still be doing bad things. And what he meant, and what he explained to me was Hard Knocks, it's just dysfunctional. And he's not sure, as well as other football fans, if it's going to work. Sometimes when you have too much of something, it doesn't work. So you have...
They told me that once.
Who's they?
The people. They said, too much. It wasn't good for you, Puma.
Right, no, eat too much.
Too much alcohol. Not good, Puma.
Right. No, too much of anything isn't good. And I think just in this situation, there's going to be a lot of mouths to feed. Now, granted, this is a little different because I think this might be the biggest bromance in football between Jarvis Landry and Odell for positive reasons. So it might be a little different than just bringing in like an Antonio Brown. But I don't know. Baker Mayfield with Njoku and OBJ and Antonio Callaway and Jarvis and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt in the second half of the season. There are a lot of mouths to feed. I don't know. On paper, yes, this might be an explosive offense. Their defense is still brutal. So,
my take, I love it. I love it. You know why? Because it makes our young fans just go crazy. And it's a team that's coming from the rise. You and I both know. The Browns have been in the cellar since before time. We could go back to Jim Brown, all right? Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
So the last time I saw them good, it was black and white. Anyway, now we're into color TV. And
they had black and white when you were a kid?
No, but, when you see the reruns of A Football Life of Jim Brown and all, that was like the last time.
NFL Network.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to my point, now you can see Odell's hair and all. If I'm Freddie Kitchens, I'm giving everybody a high five and I'm going out and getting a selfie stick. Because every practice, I'm going to be taking a selfie with the boys.
This is exactly why you're going to lose.
Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, OBJ. I'm going to be a dog. But all seriousness, I feel like this is the most talent. We had spoke about it before. This was before Odell was traded. Right now, with Odell on that team, most talented roster in the NFL right now.
No. They're not.
But who's better? I just want to know because you say no like you know. Who's
no.
better?
Well, where do the Rams talent go? Are they?
No, I think they have great talent too.
Who's the Bears? Who's the Browns' defensive talent outside of Myles Garrett? They lost Jabril Peppers.
Jabril Peppers is Ed Reed.
He was probably he's top 5 improved from his freshman year to his sophomore year.
Denzel Ward
and Myles Garrett,
Olivier Vernon.
Don't tell me Olivier Vernon because
he's gonna be motivated.
Who did Olivier?
He's gonna be motivated.
Who did Olivier Vernon ever do well with?
Then you forgot.
No, you're just not.
I'll answer the question.
Who did Olivier Vernon ever play well with?
Oh, Miami. He was a dog with Miami.
Oh, right.
And the first year of the Giants, 15.
Right, I forgot.
16,
I forgot he led to the Giants and the Dolphins to a lot of wins. But okay, continue.
No, I'm just saying.
I want winning players.
I understand that, but for some guys, that the money motivates.
Do you want Sean McVay or do you want Freddie Kitchens?
I want Sean McVay.
Do you want Jared Goff or do you want Baker Mayfield? No, football. Not bringing in money, not bringing in all this other good stuff.
I want Baker Mayfield.
Okay, well then you're drunk. But we'll you want Baker Mayfield over Jared Goff?
It's Monday afternoon, not Monday night. I am not drunk yet. Okay,
wait. You want Baker Mayfield?
Yes.
Over Jared Goff?
Yes.
Well then we're not. Okay, then we can.
Jared Goff will never ever win a Super Bowl.
You think Baker Mayfield's winning a Super Bowl
before Jared Goff? Absolutely. Bro, listen, I'm not saying that Jared Goff is this terrible quarterback.
No, you already lost me because there's nothing you can say.
Okay,
there's nothing you can say.
Did you not watch the Super Bowl? Did you
Jared Goff got there. First of all,
oh my God. The instance that they got there was a fluke to begin with.
Why was it a fluke that they got there?
That hit in the championship game against the Saints player wasn't a fluke.
I do remember the Saints being up 10-0. And how many points did they score after that? I think they lost 23-16?
Something like that.
Okay,
so if the Saints get a first down, they're running that ball in Camaro all day. They're getting that touchdown.
Why didn't the Saints just run the ball? They didn't have to throw the ball.
If I was coaching the play calls,
if you were coaching,
he pulled a Pete Carroll. What do you want me to do?
If you were coaching, you wouldn't have won a game.
He pulled a Pete Carroll 1st and 3, and he throws it, and it gets.
Let's go through the quarterbacks Jared Goff beat on the way. Well, Dak Prescott, is he not up and coming? No, in his playoff run. Is Dak Prescott not up and coming?
I would say I'd rather take Goff over Prescott.
Yeah, we're not debating that. But I'm just saying, is Goff and Prescott are both decent, but Prescott's no scrub.
No.
Okay, and Drew Brees, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Elite, yes.
Right, and I would say I know the game was ugly, but he played hand-in-hand with Brady up until the last drive. Did he not? Yeah, he actually played worse. You know what the crazy thing is? If Goff makes a couple throws, they win. They win.
I think.
Because it's not like Brady was sitting here looking like the second coming of himself.
Jets Nation, you know that I am not the biggest Baker Mayfield person, and I believe he would have been terrible in New York because just the media attention.
Well, and the fact they have no talent.
Correct. Well, that was then. This is now. Anyway.
Well. And now they got one guy.
All right, Rick.
Two guys.
I used to be 7 years old. That doesn't mean I'm still 7 years old. Anyway.
Well, you act like it.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so that was then, this is now. Baker Mayfield, I feel, is in the perfect position, leadership position. I believe if he's in that Super Bowl, they make a comeback. Because at least...
if he's on the Rams.
If he's on the Rams, let's just say.
No, okay.
Right.
I didn't know where you were...
Yeah, no, that's what I was looking at. If he was on the Rams, I feel like Jared Goff is a little too vanilla for me. You know, it's like if you.
But that's what you like. That's why you like Sam Darnold.
No, Darnold's better than Goff too.
No. That's not what I'm saying. First of all, Darnold's not better than Goff right now. Right now.
Oh my God.
First of all, he's not better than him right now.
I would take Darnold any day.
Right now. First of all, I'm talking about right now. I'm not projecting.
Yes.
Okay, well...
Right now, I'll take Darnold.
That's already
I'll take Darnold.
Okay, well, one guy's been to the Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah, but look at the team he had. If Darnold had that team, he'd be there too. Oh, and if a fluke play happened, yeah, he would be in there too.
Well, the fluke play is irrelevant.
Well, now we got our boy, Lev Bell.
Well, we'll get to that. Hold on a minute. But
I think it's all this pre-workout.
But did you pre-workout? Did you not tell me that in your opinion you like your quarterbacks to be vanilla? Did you not say that? Because I'll walk off the set if you.
Whoa! I like their personality to be vanilla. I didn't mean their play to be vanilla because his is more like vanilla expired.
Right. Who?
Goff.
Right, but all right. So you should like it even more.
No, it's terrible. It puts me to sleep.
So
he's like a little downgrade of Matt Ryan.
Who?
Goff.
Okay, well, I just want to tell you this: Goff is ahead of Matt Ryan where he was in year
because
3. I think this is year 3.
He got to a Super Bowl, and this is, again, a team sport, and Goff did get there, yes. But was it all because of Goff? No. I would say C.J. Anderson was more important than Goff.
To what?
To the Rams.
Oh, my gosh.
That run game? Are you kidding me?
C.J. Anderson played 4 games before the Super Bowl.
So what if they made him count, Rick? Okay, Todd Gurley, let's take it to...
C.J. Anderson would be... Maybe we could have C.J. Anderson on the show if he wasn't playing because Todd Gurley got hurt.
Okay, so that's a fair point.
So
but Todd Gurley wasn't. You have to agree with me that Todd Gurley wasn't the same after he got hurt.
Obviously he got hurt.
Okay, but no. Okay, so we're great on that point.
Right. Well, when you're hurt, you're not going to perform.
He wasn't the same. Okay. 2 is I feel like he was a non-factor championship game. The last time he was ever a factor was the Dallas game.
But they both were. Tell me,
C.J. Anderson more.
Give me a game. C.J. Anderson played in 5 games. Give me a game where C.J. Anderson played well and they won. That wasn't the Arizona Cardinals, I think, in Week 16 and some other...
The Saints.
No.
He was running all up on them.
He wasn't that great.
He was running all up on them.
They had 23
points. Check the... I don't want to say it, the stats. But
they had 23 points, I believe. So what was he doing?
He was running on them. He was running on them. At least 80-plus yards and a touchdown.
We'll get D. Nannis on there.
But that game was big for him, and that's what led McVay's decision because Gurley still wasn't right in the bowl.
Right. Well,
he was running them.
Well, thank you, D. Nannis, for getting on it. It was 26-23 Rams. So
okay.
I said 23-16. But I mean, C.J. Anderson didn't run for 16 carries and 44 yards, and he also had 1 catch for 5 yards. So I don't know what your eyes were telling you.
I saw him get gaping holes.
Gaping holes! He had 44 yards!
He had gaping holes!
Will you admit that you're wrong because their run game had about 70 yards? And Gurley, I think, had 12. So will you tell me your eyes saw something different?
No, I saw him
well,
cutting up.
On today's podcast, you're 0 for 1.
This is an indictment on me.
It's not an indictment. You're telling me he ran for $120, he ran for 44 yards.
Right. I like how we started with Cleveland and now we're on the Rams.
Well, we're getting back to that. And this is the full circle.
Right, let's go full circle here.
Right. Right, and what I wanted to say was I don't know, when you have someone, I don't want to call them clowns, because they're not clowns, I think they actually try hard, but when you have so many personalities, that's the better word, Odell, tries too hard, almost. He tries to be sometimes too much.
But don't you feel that...
And maybe in Cleveland it'll be different.
I feel like Cleveland makes him ascend.
To what?
Okay, and I'm going to relate this to another player, not football related, but kind of the same kind of mantra a little bit. Yasiel Puig going to Cincinnati. I feel like Yasiel is going to explode. The same thing with sometimes those kind of guys can't be in the spotlight. He makes one play, all of a sudden he's more liked and more known than Phil Simms, who actually brought them 2 Super Bowls. So
Phil Simms did go underrated a little bit.
No, he did. No, but you see what I'm trying to tell you? That one play against Dallas was the worst thing that could ever happen to his psyche.
Yeah.
Because he became bigger than his play. Nor we're talking about a person that hasn't played a 16-game schedule. Not 1 year, not 2 years, ever. So
Odell.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong.
And was given $96 million, like it was, like a last day on earth. So this trade, I think, is best for Odell personally, and best for the Browns. Now, best for the Giants, we will segue our way into, because let's move on to that point. From the Giants' perspective, do you think they got what was realistic for a superstar player in Odell back?
I do.
You think that was a good haul enough?
I'm sure you're going to disagree, which I get.
I can't wait. Yeah, go on.
No, I get why. Yeah, wait, no, I'll let you go first.
No.
I want you.
Okay,
You go first.
I'll take it. The kid's still high from the pre-workout.
All right.
Don't ever have Bang and espresso from Starbucks.
We
You'll be all whacked out.
Right. Well,
Anyway.
Starbucks, right? It's just a ton of sugar. But anyway.
All right.
Unless you get the water.
Yeah, unless you get the water. Very eco-friendly. Anyway, so going to our point.
Wait. Before, let's just tell our audience they got a first, a third, and Jabril Peppers back.
So the details of the trade were Odell going to Cleveland, obviously.
And nothing. Just Odell and nothing.
Just Odell and nothing, while coming back to the Giants would be the Browns' first-round pick, which is the 17th overall.
Of this year.
Of 2019. And then they would have the Browns' third.
Of 2020.
No, of 2019.
Oh, no. So the Browns are without a first and third this year.
Right.
Okay, I apologize.
I believe it's pick 153 overall. And Jabril Peppers,
right.
which is average safety.
Which is a first-round pick.
I believe they could have got more. Because when you're dealing with I know it's a wide receiver. I know it's the diva position. But you're talking about Odell Beckham, and I see the Giants' motivation of it was so funny, the timing, because a couple of days before, Antonio Brown was dealt to Oakland for a 4 and a 5 or something like that.
It wasn't much. It was much less. It was much less.
It was more like get the headache out the door.
Absolutely.
And I feel like Gettleman thought the same way, but let's get him out before the headache gets bigger like Antonio Brown. I believe this day and age is all about managing people. All right? You're going to get people that you work with that you don't like, and you're going to get people that you work with that you love to like, and you probably go out for tea afterwards. But we don't always have to go out for tea.
Who's going out for tea? What is
I'm
this?
just trying to say there's people that you like, there's people that you don't like. But it's all about managing different personalities. And I believe Shermer and Gettleman did a poor job of that. People want to get on Coughlin. At least Coughlin could be looked to as a father figure at times. These guys just didn't want to hear anything about it. And I felt like Odell wasn't grasping the scheme of Shermer because they were trying to take like what Minnesota did the year prior to with Keenum, Diggs, Thielen, and they tried to implement that with Eli and Odell. And for me, I feel like it just didn't work out. But the most is you can't deal with you have to be able to deal with people. And I felt like they sold him short. I believe the Lil Wayne interview with Odell, with Jacina Anderson, I think that was the
straw. Was a bad look.
That was one of the straws that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
And I believe the Antonio Brown, which has nothing to do with this, but, tangibly, but intangibly, I feel like it did because it just motivated the Giants that much more to get rid of him.
Yeah.
And I just feel they could, if you're going to get rid of a talent like that, you should have held out for more. Or go to another team in San Francisco and stress on that number 2 pick. Because you're telling me...
2 overall.
Right. You're telling me you're getting Odell Beckham and you gave a first-round pick, but you gave a mid-level 17th overall. If you told me you were getting a top 10 pick and it was the same trade, I would say, Rick, they did incredible. Now, it looks like even if you want your quarterback of the future, say Haskins, say Kyler Murray, and you want to say to Arizona, let's swap, Arizona's going to ask for your 6 and your 17. So basically, you're going to give 6 and 17 for a 1, which is astronomically paying. 2, you're dealing with an undersized quarterback. And 3, you don't know if he's going to fit your system nor the NFL because he's even shorter than Baker Mayfield. So for me, I feel like all of this was done more so to get rid of the headache of Odell Beckham. And I feel like it just wasn't handled properly. Now, people want to talk about Puma. You would accept all the troublemakers. I love the guys like T.O. I loved Randy Moss. But it was always about if they were in the right situation. Randy Moss went to New England. Perfect situation. You saw that play out. T.O. never got that opportunity to go to a team that was stabilized. The one team that he went that was stabilized was the Eagles, and he even crushed them personally because Andy Reid's a softie like Santa Claus. So, I believe Odell gets a fresh start. He's with his bestie in Jarvis Landry. He's with a guy that could get him the ball in Baker Mayfield. And I believe it's a win-win for Cleveland all day. You do that without a doubt. And I believe players like that, it'll just make them ascend. And he's in Cleveland. I think that's even better because the light will always be on this kid. But it's no light like in New York.
I listened to everything you said, a lot of which I agree with. Let's take Odell from the Giants' perspective. The first thing is they never could have. To your Vikings point, that what I guess they maybe envisioned. One team had Stephon Diggs, Dalvin Cook, and Adam Thielen, and one team has Odell Beckham and a washed-up quarterback. So that was never going to work. Okay, right. And no running back, might I add. Before Barkley, no running back.
Right.
All right, so that's to address that point. So I'm with you there. The next point is you give Odell all this guaranteed money. You try to keep him happy. It's your star. What that trade told me after year one of this new contract, I believe, right? This was year one, going into year two.
You're going into.
They had no intention of keeping him.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I think retroactively, the Giants didn't really realize how bad Eli still is. Mm-hmm. They maybe thought that he had a few years left. He clearly doesn't. So that was not Odell's fault. Odell wanted his money, got his money. He wanted to be in New York. I still think he wanted to be. I don't think he wanted to leave. This isn't an AB situation. So that was another issue that I had with the Giants there. They never intended to keep him. The third thing is, look, I understand you want to trade him, and that's fine. But it's interesting. I think they could have held out for more, yes. And I'm with you there, but I think what they got is fine. Let's see what they get back. A first round 17. What's wrong with that?
No, I just feel like they could have got a little bit more.
But this is my question to you.
Okay. If they would have gave me a 2020 second rounder, I would have said,
maybe they don't want that.
Who wouldn't want more picks?
No, but I'm saying maybe they just didn't want to wait that long.
No. I'm saying included in the deal.
You're saying included.
Right, if I were the Giants.
I thought you meant instead of this year's third.
No. Instead of the
Giants.
I
was like, I don't think that's...
No. And if I were the Giants, I would have said...
So this year's first and third, next year's second, and Jabril Peppers?
Yes. And you know what? Jabril Peppers and...
I think he's better than you think he is. No. I think he will come into this team and start right away.
Well, you basically,
but listen, how is this Giant team? This Giant team, you can make the argument, did pretty well overall with their trades because they got rid of Eli Apple.
Well, I think the best trade was the Zach Zenner, Mike, what's his name from Cleveland? When they swapped Olivier Vernon. And they got the guard. Mike Zenner,
right. Sure, they got right. Vernon was doing nothing here. I think the Giants have done pretty well. If you take that trade, which everyone's looking at, fine, but I think the Giants have realized, besides the fact they should just let Eli walk, which is ridiculous at this point.
100%.
I don't know what we're doing. If I'm a Giant fan,
that's their Jeter, man.
It's not. It's absolutely not.
They can't get rid of him.
Eli Manning does not captivate. If you're a baseball fan,
yes, but
you're captivated by Jeter. As a baseball fan, people out west, people in Japan, people that aren't even born yet are captivated by Jeter.
I love him too.
Eli Manning is your vanilla quarterback that Brady isn't really vanilla. Let's be honest. He's got some spice to him. Yeah. Eli Manning,
he has that chip of being in the
even
sixth
Peyton
round.
Manning had some grit. Eli Manning is your run-of-the-mill. I could see him on the street walking into my 7-Eleven. I could run into that type of guy.
Yeah.
And it's get over it. He's not winning anymore. Move on. And the second thing regarding the Giants on these trades, they did well with Eli Apple. They got a pick back. That didn't hurt that team at all. They got the kid Zenner instead of Vernon, which I think is better. You got all these picks lined up, and you're not getting Kyler Murray. New York does not want Kyler Murray. They're not getting Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray will, if he's on the board, they'll be taking Dwayne Haskins anyway. So, in all seriousness, what are we arguing over? Are we 7 spots? Because you said top 10. You would agree with me, right? That's what you said? So, we're talking about 7 spots. Because it's not like it's not like Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins is not going to the Cardinals.
Jamarcus Russell. Yeah.
He's better than Jamarcus Russell. But anyway... Well, I guess we'll see. But at the same time, we're talking about 7 spots. It's not like Cleveland didn't give up a first-round pick. So, everyone said, the Browns fleeced the Giants. Did they really?
I think so, because you know what Odell Beckham is. I
don't, because Odell Beckham, you told me earlier on the show, he doesn't play the full 16 games
But for the most part, he's a home run threat.
Oh, yeah. When he
when he's on the field.
What's your best ability in football?
Being available. Being available.
And he's not available.
That was a good one, right?
All right. Well, I mean,
but yeah, your best ability is being available.
I hate to say it, but why does Larry Fitzgerald get so much love? Partial because he's always out on the field.
He's a good guy.
Antonio Brown for 99%, he's always out there. What'd you say about Calvin Johnson? He was
always out there.
I hate to say, but why do I not put Doug Baldwin in that upper echelon?
He's hurt.
Because he's hurt all the time. DeAndre Hopkins, always out there. Andre Johnson, always was out there. Odell, where are you? It's a lot. We're not talking one game. We're talking multiple games here.
When he does touch the ball.
And I think that's the problem with the Browns. I think, look, basketball's different. You give Kevin Durant the ball, you give Steph the ball, you give LeBron the ball, you give Giannis the ball. They make things happen. Someone's got to get the ball to Odell. If Odell makes 8 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown, that's a pretty good game. The Browns will take that every day of the season. Still lose a lot of games like that too.
Definitely. Moving to our next point, because the Giants and the Browns got us a little rowdy. So let's move on to
real quick before we turn. Give your grade trade. I give the Giants an A-. Real quick.
Solid B.
And the Browns, I'm going to give an A+.
Absolutely.
You did. And,
A+.
Okay.
And, but short, just a little PS just to throw in there. I believe the Giants do move to Josh Rosen. Maybe flip a second rounder, fourth round.
To get Josh Rosen.
Like a 2 and a 5.
Okay.
And then you use those ammunitions of the first round picks to rebuild your defense. I think
that's why I really don't think this Giant team
or you get a DK Metcalf in the back end of the first round.
Well, don't say that. I hope the Ravens get him. But no, that's fair. What are they doing with Golden Tate? I don't understand.
That leads us to many other points, which I don't want to stay on the Giants too long because we have the other New York team to get to. But it just kills me how. That just shows you what Gettleman was thinking from along. He didn't want to deal with the headache. So if we were tearing it down, tear it down. Don't halfway tear it down and say, oh, you know what? We're just going to give a guy $35 million and go back up. It makes zero sense. Golden Tate would have been perfect to the New York Jets.
No, well, they already have Jamison Crowder.
Right, I know.
No, I'm saying Tate's an upgrade to that, but once you sign Crowder, I told you last week they weren't getting another wide receiver. I told you that.
Yeah, no, you told me, not that I wanted to believe it. But yes.
That's not here or there. That's neither here or there.
But it's just, Jamison Crowder doesn't really get me up in the morning. But anyway, so definitely you had a guy out there, Golden Tate. You know who I could see Golden Tate literally be perfect for?
Don't tell me Josh Rosen. I don't want to hear that.
No, New England Patriots, bro. You just put him.
Yeah. But they already have those type of weapons.
They would never, and they're the whole Josh Gordon situation. But moving on, yes, I just thought it was really.
But it's like you have Edelman, you have Hogan, you have your slot guys, and it's also they don't bring in slot. They're guys that they bring in were Randy Moss and they thought maybe Cordero Patterson, even though he's been decent for them, but the bigger wide receiver, Gordon, Moss, they're not bringing in slot guys.
Hogan.
They let Amendola walk. They have Edelman. It's just. But I'm with you there.
Yeah, so that was a little confusing. But it just showed you how badly Gettleman didn't want to deal with the headache.
Right. I think they basically said, look, I don't mind spending the money. I just don't want it to be on this guy.
Yes. Moving forward. So the New York Jets welcome Le'Veon Bell and C.J. Mosley. Now, let's not, I know I'm even on Le'Veon Bell, but let's not remiss the other moves that the Jets did. Because to me, they made 2 other key moves. It was C.J. Mosley and
you're welcome for that one,
and Osemele from the Raiders.
Another loser that the Ravens had. The Ravens had him, so I could personally say this guy was a loser for Baltimore. He was okay for Oakland. He's an upgrade to whatever clowns the Jets had,
and that's what I'm alluding to. That let's start with Osemele first. I feel like he's any upgrade other than whatever on.
Right. Well, we were out there. I mean, He's an upgrade over us.
That Jets line is terrible and is going to get that kid killed. So that's why I feel like Osemele, and maybe you pair him up.
If you're a young quarterback, it's all about the line. Yes. I will take
trench play.
If a run game in the trenches, the front 4 on defense and the front 5, maybe 6 with a tight end, whatever. But you believe in that group, that 10, 12 players that can make a quarterback's career when they're young. This isn't Brady. This isn't Breeze. This isn't even throwing Goff. It's not even that at this point. So the Trubiskys of the world. The Darnolds, the Rosens, the younger cats, Got to give them stability. We saw what happened with Andrew Luck. He got destroyed. Finally, you get him a line.
Absolutely. And Ricky makes great points there. Second biggest move, C.J. Mosley. Because now you give the Jets an actual Mike linebacker, not since they've had David Harris. Also, too...
David Harris and like Bart Scott, right?
Bart Scott, no, but it was more David Harris because they were both there at the same time.
Right, but it's like you had two key anchors.
Right. And if the Jets could get back to that, maybe with a C.J. Mosley and the guy that they got from the Titans, Williamson.
Yes, up front.
Right, and I believe you have those two in the middle, and then maybe the Jets with the third pick could draft Josh Allen and put him on
or Quentin Williams.
Or Quentin Williams, and then on the other end you have hopefully the reemergence of Darren Lee, and if he turns into something.
If you're waiting on Darren Lee,
I'd be waiting forever.
Right.
But so that was my second best move, and number one, obviously, Le'Veon Bell. You could just look at the long laundry list of young quarterbacks who, when they get a run game, they become just a little bit better. They play off that pass play action. Look at, we were just speaking about Goff. Goff looks much better when he has Todd Gurley behind him.
Absolutely.
I couldn't think of the other quarterback. Patrick Mahomes. Even when Patrick Mahomes had Kareem Hunt, looked a little better when you're playing off.
It's also nice to be able to dump it off to those guys.
Absolutely.
This isn't Jordan Howard, where if he can't run for more than a yard and a half, no offense to Jordan Howard, but he's not a threat out of the backfield. That's why they had Tariq Cohen.
Yeah, and as old as Eli is, it's great to have a Saquon Barkley back there.
Absolutely.
So just getting Le'Veon Bell in the fold just brings tears to my eyes because I haven't seen a running back this big that the Jets have signed since Curtis Martin.
Absolutely, yeah.
You old Jet fans could even make a case.
Let's not sleep on Thomas Jones.
I thought I brought that up. Did I bring that up to you? I brought that up to a lot of Jets fans.
No,
but
I've always brought that up. Mark Sanchez was somewhat successful here in New York because of him.
Yeah, Thomas
and
Jones,
a little Sean Green in there to back up.
Yeah, no pun intended for the gangrene. But anyway, so yeah, I feel like a run game, stout defense, maybe add a couple more pieces, get that Josh Allen. I'd rather Josh Allen over Quentin Williams any day of the week.
You want an edge rusher.
I need that edge rusher. And you know what? I have my quarterback. Now I need someone to get to everyone else's quarterback.
No, that's fair.
And you get a quarterback in there, and you know what? This could probably ring true to those 09, 10 teams. Just get us there. But now we have the quarterback to make the timely throw. Run game, stout defense, a la Jacksonville. But I'll take Darnold any day of the week over Bortles.
Two things.
It gives you a chance.
Absolutely. Two things. One, C.J. Mosley, that deal for the Jets is great. I didn't, as a Homer Raven fan, I did not see him leaving. I really thought he was going to be the Ray Lewis of this team, the next Ray Lewis.
Right. And I feel like we just stole your Ray Lewis.
Right. And let's be honest.
But let's be honest also, too. You were doubting that he would go to the Jets because
I didn't think he was leaving. It's not the Jets. I didn't think he was leaving Baltimore. Right. So it's not a Jets thing. The Lev Bell thing, I'm taking full credit for. I've told you that for months.
I don't even care.
But I'm saying, did I not say Lev Bell was going? I've told everyone for a year.
I didn't even believe it.
I've been telling everyone.
I'm so used to bad news.
I told everyone for a year he was going to the Jets. No one believed me. Everyone told me the Jets are going to screw it up. I said, look, folks.
I told you.
I said, look, folks.
I'll admit
he's coming to New York. You told me the Colts. I've heard San Francisco. I've heard
Baltimore,
Green Bay. I've heard Baltimore. The problem with Baltimore is he won't catch any passes. But that's why Mark Ingram's perfect for them. Because Mark Ingram doesn't catch any passes. He just runs the ball. Le'Veon Bell lost out here.
Yeah.
He could have made a ton of money from Pittsburgh last year, and he could have gotten the same deal here in New York.
I don't mean to
and he's not breaking the bank.
But the Jets aren't breaking the bank here.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the way he was talking about...
I was giving him $60 million guaranteed.
He was right. If I'm a Jet fan...
I'm elated.
Right. You gave a lot of money to Mosley, and we'll see. C.J. Mosley, I think we know what Lev Bell's going to be and what he does for Darnold. C.J. Mosley is the key to this team. Because if he doesn't play like the C.J. Mosley in Baltimore, it's a lot of dead money. And I don't think I think he will be good. But I'm just saying, when you have a middle linebacker that's vocal, that's a leader, that can rally the troops. That's even sometimes you're even paying extra money for that, and we both agree that Mosley can be that type of player. But Lev Bell, I don't.
And he's got one less year of tread on his tires. Do remember that.
Lev Bell, yes, but it will take him some time, including
those hamstrings.
Well, that I'm not even talking about that, but I think don't expect a great September.
No, I'm looking forward to that November, December.
Right, if the Jets are still relevant, and right. It's weird because I think the Jets have a few really good players, but the rest of the roster still isn't great. Right. So can those guys? First of all, we'll see what type of development Darnold takes.
Right.
You have Crowder, you have Bell. I expect a decent in size improvement from Darnold.
And my whole thing is, you said, let's see how they improve on the roster. The draft is going to be very telling. They're sitting there with the third best pick.
If they can't get a D lineman out of this draft, the Jets deserve to
off your head. Do you take the best player available, or do you trade down and accumulate more picks because they probably do need a couple more pieces?
Right. First of all, this is not a playoff team right now.
Okay. So do you just take best available, or are you going off of let's accumulate some picks for this year, next year? And get some players
are you talking about as a fan or from
if you put on your GM hat?
If there's a player that I say this guy is the next Khalil Mack, or this guy is the next Vince Wilfork, or someone that's going to be with my team for 15 years, then I take that guy at number 3. If I'm not loving anyone and I know I can get someone later,
like a Brian Burns, and then
you can get an Ed Oliver now at 17. Ed Oliver was a guaranteed top 5 pick. That's not really the case anymore. Right. So if I'm in love with Quinnen Williams or Josh Allen, then yeah, I take it. I don't know. Again, I don't know if any of these guys are because they're not getting Nick Bosa.
Right.
The only way, who's picking it too? Yeah,
San Francisco.
So they'll take Nick Bosa.
Well, what would happen is
say Kyler goes 1.
I would say
they'll take Nick Bosa too.
The only chance that you see is either Miami or the Giants jumping in front of the Jets
to take Haskins.
To take Haskins, and that
in front of the Jets.
Yeah, because then that means
the Jets.
Nick Bosa,
the Jets aren't drafting quarterback.
No, I understand that, but you want somebody to jump in front of you so Nick Bosa could fall to them. If they're 2 quarterbacks,
they're not falling.
Yeah, they are. It was supposed to be Bosa too
to San Fran.
Right.
But I'm saying San Fran won't lose that. San Fran's not giving that up because they know they're going to get Bosa.
For the right price, I can't attach any player to any pick. I feel if you pay if you pay Lynch enough, he'll do it. He did it years ago for Solomon Thomas when he swapped down.
Right, that was great.
For Mitchell Trubisky, which people thought the Bears were crazy. Now it looks like it was fine.
Well, Solomon Thomas is a loser.
Right, but you see what I'm trying to say? He's willing to do it. So all it does is take one. And
right, no, that's fair. And it's we saw with the AB thing, who wants to take on AB? You only need one. And it was the Raiders. Who wanted to take on the Cano contract? The Mariners were the one team.
Only takes one.
But what I will say, if we go back to this draft, and Jets, I guess, and Giants re-enter the conversation, I think Nick Bosa is the only player outside of Kyler Murray, because I just don't know. But Kyler Murray doesn't even apply to San Francisco because they have Jimmy G and they paid him so much.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa, I think, is the only player that I think Nick Bosa might be better than his brother. And that's saying something. I think he's a guaranteed star. So, to me, if I'm Arizona, I want that. I'll keep Josh Rosen because they're not going to take Haskins at 1. They're just not doing it. But they might take Kyler Murray.
No, absolutely.
And if I'm Cliff King, if I'm Kime, Richard, right? That's his name, Kime?
Khan, yeah.
Whatever the hell his name is? Sure. I already got Cliff Kingsbury. It was already a bad move from a optics perspective out there in the public. I might as well try to get Kyler because at least if Cliff Kingsbury doesn't think he can make it work with Josh Rosen, then why not? You can get a second-round pick, I think, for Josh Rosen.
No, absolutely.
Maybe not the Giants.
Maybe a 2-7. Get Josh in there because Josh was a top 12 pick by the Cardinals. They traded up for him.
Right. I'm not a fan of him at all. You are.
Yeah.
And you just think it was a bad situation for him last year.
I think it was.
I like Josh Allen up in Buffalo much better than I like Josh Rosen. Not that I'm high on both, but I happen to like Josh
I think
Allen
it will turn out that it will slot Mayfield, Darnold, Allen, Rosen, and
Right, which that's what I said.
which I don't think any one of them is going to be tremendously bad. I just think
I don't think any of them are going to be
career-wise.
tremendously great either.
And I think the one who
I think Darnold's going to be good,
right.
but I don't see him changing football.
I see Darnold kind of like that Eli mode. Like he doesn't have the statistics to back it up.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get our Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
All right, well, that's...
Let it happen first. But I don't see
when you talk about Super Bowl, first of all, they're not winning crap until Brady's out of the division.
Well, that's another
or the conference.
Right.
So that's another 3 years.
But yeah. So quick before we move to our next point, Jets at 3 because now we're moving towards the draft.
I'm going Quinnen Williams.
You're going Quinnen Williams
because I think Kyler. I say Kyler's going to end up at 1 because I think the Cardinals.
I don't know why I think he's going to be a bust, but
no. Well, that's another story for another time. But I think Bosa goes to San Francisco. I think they have their guy.
On my big board right now, because we'll do. By the way, folks, we're going to do our second live show ever again for our annual draft special.
Not until a little bit later.
Yeah, on draft day. Draft day.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm saying not anytime soon.
But there'll be our 1-year anniversary. Of JFPSports.
Yes, we have a few things planned.
Yeah, but back to the point. Definitely, I love the direction the Jets are going, but you want
Josh Allen. I want Quinnen Williams.
Right. I think Josh Allen on my board. Going back to my board, I feel like Josh Allen's ranked number 1 over Bosa.
Overall number.
No. I feel the rawness of Josh Allen screams Von Miller, Khalil Mack to me. Pass rusher, dominated the game.
You think he's... But the difference is... Okay.
Let me ask you something. Have you seen tape on him?
Yeah. Josh Allen?
No.
I watched a lot of Kentucky games. You know me. I like college football better than I like the pros.
No, I do.
I said that on multiple occasions.
I was expecting that answer.
And I saw him in the bowl game. I saw him in the bowl game versus Penn State, and he played well. That game was a nightmare.
This better than anybody. When we put too much pressure on a family member coming into the league to live up to their brother, or it's like TJ Watt having to live up to JJ Watt. He'll never be JJ Watt, but TJ Watt's a nice player. You would agree with me, right?
Well, it's not his fault JJ Watt's donating the entire world to Houston and their all their
but I'm just saying.
No, but I'm saying it's things like that. But it's things like that build into JJ Watt as a whole.
Right.
And it's not JJ Watt's not doing it to get attention. I think he just does
a
it.
Great guy.
Right, and TJ Watt's got to live up to that, but the Bosa brothers have a little edge to them.
No, I know.
The Watt brothers don't have an edge. They have a football edge, but they're like good people, I think. And it's like they don't. Joey Bosa's got an edge to him, and I think Nick Bosa's got an edge to him too. And I don't know if Josh.
Right now, your number 1 is Bosa.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
but overall 1. But I don't think he's going to go 1 only because I think Arizona's going to take
third pick. Let's say Giants move up to 2, get Haskins. Jets get who? Bosa. Is it a no doubt about it, Bosa?
Yes.
I'm still taking Josh Allen.
Now let me throw this at you. Say Bosa goes 1, the Giants move up to 2 to get Haskins.
Yeah,
and you'll go with Josh Allen.
I'm going Josh Allen all day as long as he's there. If not, then I have to live with.
Would you be okay as a Jet fan? Because I don't care about this question. Would you be okay with the Jets trading down?
Yes.
If they love the player at like 15 or 20 because or whatever.
I'm
knowledgeable
enough, and I'm not saying other Jets fans are not knowledgeable enough. We all want the big splash, right? We all want the sexy girl. We all want the sexy pick. But at the end of the day, it's about filling out your roster. And if you believe
this is not a good one,
right? And if you believe that you could get 2 players at the price of 1, 2 is always better than 1, my friend. And if you could drop down and still be in the top 10, top 20. And you're getting 2 first rounders, and maybe because the price to jump up to 3,
it would be a lot. It would be a lot.
You could definitely sit there and ask you, and nobody would laugh if you said, "I want your 2 first round picks, and I want next
2
year's.
first round. How would you get 2 first round picks?
Well, if you were to come across a Green Bay Packer. If they want to get a pass rusher,
They have 2 first round picks?
Yeah, they have 2 first round
picks. All right,
picks.
You're not going to find many teams with 2 first round picks this year.
No, right. Or you get or I was leading to, or you run into a team, let's say, well, you're not going to trade with Miami because they're in the same division.
Well, also, it's like, what is Miami trading up to 3 for? They just signed Ryan Fitzpatrick. Let's just throw out Washington. Let's just throw out the Redskins. Okay, you swap with the Redskins. Obviously, they have 1 pick in the first round. You could definitely say, I want this year's first and second and next year's 1. And I do it in a heartbeat. Yeah, but no one's going to pay that.
But you see, sometimes the desperation of the
But
situation.
who would that be for? That's my question.
Especially Snyder. He just gave $84 million to Landon Collins. It's like
but I'm saying,
hustle
if
team.
you're the problem is you do that if it's a quarterback. If you think Dwayne Haskins, it'd have to be for Haskins because no one's doing that for Kyler.
No. I am saying Kyler goes 1, 2
to
goes,
Arizona.
2 Bosa goes to San Fran. 3 comes up. Haskins still on the board. If I'm
So
the
it's
Jets,
but I'm not doing that for like Josh Allen.
No.
It would have to be for Dwayne Haskins.
That's why I
at that
mentioned
point.
Washington because Washington.
But they just gave Alex Smith a good amount of money.
Okay, and they have Keenan. You could always cut Alex Smith later on.
David's he's got a lot of money guaranteed.
I believe it's like $30 million guaranteed. I know, but you could.
I think
him around.
Denver is a team that should look into that.
or that. Fine. I was just trying to think of a team that could swap.
Well, you gave me a team with a lot of guaranteed money.
Sorry. Okay, so you got Flacco. Okay, he could always kick the can. So let's say Denver.
I just want to throw this out there.
Perfect,
he could lead a team to the playoffs.
And that's perfect. No, absolutely. And that's perfect. One that Rick brought up. Denver's perfect because they have the 10th pick. I could definitely say to Denver, I want this year's 1, and I want your next year's 2, 3, and 2021's 3 or something like. And you know what? I'd do it.
Or you send a player back. Or you could send if you like a Bradley Roby. I think he's like.
No, Bradley Roby is off the board. I believe the Saints picked him up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, but fine. So say maybe there's someone on their defense that's not Von Miller or one of those guys that you like. It's not Bradley Chubb or maybe there's someone out there that you like. I don't know.
The tackle or something of that nature.
Right, or maybe there's
lineman. I would take Garrett Bowles.
Or maybe here's one for you. This is your guy. What if before we move on, if the Jets right now said your first round pick this year, your second pick next year, second round pick, and Cortland Sutton.
Oh, I do it.
Right,
exactly. Because I like Cortland Sutton.
But I'm just saying, maybe there's a receiver out there.
Iman Sanders.
Well, I don't think they're giving him up.
No, I think they would give him up before Cortland because just the fact that you just mentioned. They owe him money. And money plays a big part, camp-wise, budget-wise.
Well, then you're completely rebuilding. I think with the Flacco move, I think they're telling their fans they're not completely rebuilding.
Right, because you still got Iman laying around. But if you get his successor, then Flacco finds himself in the same situation he did last year.
But we got to move on. Quick baseball stuff. Mets, there's nothing to report. Sorry, you guys are...
So, Jets, if you get a chance, trade down, because I would love it.
Sorry, Mets fans, there's not much to discuss. We know their pitching is good.
How's Bryce Harper's left ankle?
Yeah, bone bruise. He'll be fine.
Okay.
Real quick, the Yankees' injury woes are continuing to mount up. Severino doesn't look like he'll be ready till May 1st, so that's, I guess, technically into the third month of the season because March is I
just want to reiterate, Aaron Hicks,
I don't want to hear about
$70 million.
Hicks.
Guys, didn't I tell you the guy's already missing opening day? I just want to point that out. But go on, Rick.
All right, well... he's only out the first series. Literally, he's coming back in April 1st. They said he's coming back April 1st.
Yeah,
so,
it's April Fool's Day, too, so they might be messing with me.
Well, okay, fine, April 2nd, great. Hicks, they gave 7 years. We'll recap again. 7 years, $70 million. Yes, you don't like the years, fine, but all $70 million overall is not that much when you were, in theory, in play for Machado.
Why clog up your outfield?
Okay. We talk. This is a good point. I just thought about it the other day. We talk about all the time, things seem to work out, right? So, if for the Mets, they have a lot of pitching. Someone gets hurt, someone doesn't pitch well, someone becomes a trade asset. It always works out. Yeah. Hicks, why'd you sign Hicks? Well, they have Florial coming up and whatever.
Clint Frazier.
Frazier, great. Clint Frazier.
Still on the books.
Okay, right. Well, let's address all 3 outfielders. Ellsbury had more injuries than I made dollars last year, which was... it goes to show you how much money I made still in college. But okay, fine. Multitude of injuries.
Can't speak for other people in the room.
He's just right. You're the money man. He still apparently is coming back. He's reporting. So he didn't even report on time. That's problem 1 with him. Next problem is he's hurt, don't know what he's getting, and he's making a lot of money. Okay, great. Clint Frazier missed a whole year with a concussion. Bro, I don't know what the issue is. A whole year with a concussion and you're a baseball player? Next, I'm out on him. Okay. Florial, this is his second wrist injury now. Hasn't played a full season under the Yankees ever.
Makes me think they should have signed Adam Jones, but go on.
Okay, fine.
Insurance.
Adam Jones and Andrew McCutcheon, the same player, are they not? And they let McCutcheon
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I'm just saying.
No, I get what you're saying, but
yeah.
like they didn't want McCutcheon. I feel like they would have kept McCutcheon. Like
Yeah.
same deal. So I'm saying, look, regarding the Hicks thing, before I move on to some of the actual injury issues, like things seem to work themselves out, and it seems to have worked themselves out because if Florial misses a good amount of time, Hicks will be playing. Like, and you said crowded outfield, but like things happen. Judge got hurt last year. No one saw that. I'm just saying things happen, and now the Severino thing is like, this
Another
Yankee
setback.
team is starting to scare me. CeCe's got his heart issue. Like, sign Gio Gonzalez, please. 1 year, $15 million, or
Something.
whatever he wants. Just give it to him.
Well, I don't know about that. But
no, but it's like it is
1
true.
year,
like,
$10 million. You can't.
Fine, 15 years, whatever he wants
20,
for a year.
1 year.
Well, seriously, just give him the money because like he's not in camp, and at this point,
It's all about depth.
right? And it's like
I'm not gonna be looking forward to Jonathan Loaizaga and Domingo what is it, Herman? Santana. No, Domingo Herman.
I forgot. The Brewers got another pitcher. He pitches and plays the outfield.
No, wait, they shipped him to Seattle.
Right.
That's how much you care.
Yeah.
He's at Starbucks right now. Anyway.
Right. Well, okay. In their defense, Domingo Santana, who's a utility guy, they did get Jonathan VR last year and Moustakis. So I'm saying like
no, Jonathan VR is on in Baltimore.
No, not VR. Scope. Sorry, Jonathan Scope.
You're like an old 2010 show.
No. I meant Johnny Scope.
Okay,
but I'm saying and Moustakis, and like so they got like that's why Santana wasn't getting at bats.
No, that made sense. To move on.
Right. So it's like it made sense. But like, what is going on? Like, it's not. I'm not saying what's going on with the Yankees in terms of like it's their fault, their injuries. Like we're not actively messing up the lineup, but like, come on now, like. Is there another out? There's no other pitcher. See, the thing to me, before we wrap up, Gio Gonzalez is a 1 year guy. Then you could assess. Dallas Keuchel's looking for multi-year. So I think there's your difference. So do you agree, disagree?
For me, right now I'm taking an administrative approach to this. And right
not
now,
a fan's approach? Because that's a shocker with you.
Now I'm trying. I think the pre-workout's wearing off. Right. I'm going to take the approach of wait and see. First, when you look at going over revising your roster, you tend to look at your division opponents. Baltimore does not scare me, nor does Toronto, nor do even
those teams don't scare Fort Lee.
Right, nor do the Rays. So I believe coming out the gate, your month's games include the Chicago White Sox, the Baltimore Orioles, the Toronto Blue Jays, and a series here and there with the Red Sox, with no Kimbrel, I might add.
Yeah, I think
so. Yeah. Just on that point alone, I feel like Cash and the administrative position of the Yanks feel they don't have to be as active. They're more in a wait and see seat. And I believe that's the best way you could play this thing out. Like we reiterated, things always have a chance to work themselves out, and they usually do. But now it's just a wait and see game, and we're waiting and we're seeing.
Yeah.
But definitely this leads to you never know what the next game will bring. And I believe once we kick off the season, it'll show where the Yanks are at some point, and hopefully we make it to that July 31st deadline in good position with a healthy Severino, and you could make a Kluber package and bring him on ship as well. So there's no reason why we can't do that. But right now, I believe coming out the gate, they can afford to be prudent because of the squads that they're going up against.
Breaking news, the Padres have inquired about Corey Kluber and Trevor Bauer, but their asking price from the Indians is still too high for San Diego. It doesn't look like it's happening, but it goes to show that the Indians are still looking to move on.
The Indians are definitely asking for Fernando Tatis. That's not happening.
Right.
Or Mackenzie Gore. Those two guys you can't touch. But no, I could definitely see San Diego make a play, but we'll see. You know, things take time, and like in baseball, we go game by game. So, Rick, you like to close us out?
No, You take the reins.
You want me to close it out? Okay, I'll close it out. Don't worry about
Oh,
it. I got
real
you.
quick before we finish.
Go.
College basketball.
Before my gray hair.
Selection Sunday.
Yeah.
Who do you like? I know you're going to go
Duke.
with Duke. Right. Because of Zion, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll with Gonzaga.
Oh.
Gonzaga beat Duke earlier in Maui and out there in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Neutral court game. No, I think this is going to be fun. Dean Annis, I'm sure, likes a team from Florida. The best team in Florida is Florida State.
Hey, D, what's this Sunday? D Nanas just said in my ear, it is Fantasy Baseball Draft Sunday.
Oh, fantastic. It's Fantasy Draft Sunday.
Yeah. Ricky's first time not playing in 5 years.
But I did agree, to your surprise, I did agree to be a neutral guy.
Yeah, he's Switzerland.
Yeah, exactly. You like to run trades by me, even when I was in the league, just to see if they were fair. I'm going to do that this year.
Ricky has
even more
great,
fair. I'm always fair.
Opinionated view of things.
No matter what, even if I'm involved in trade, I'll ask. In all seriousness, I'll ask other people if they think the trade is good before I send it out.
Yeah.
Just because, look, especially if there's money involved for whoever plays with money, I think it's fair to be, do the right thing.
Political.
In all seriousness, if someone tries to trade someone who they know they literally just saw got hurt and is out for the year,
Kershaw
automatically I'm not right.
Yeah.
Right, Clayton Kershaw tears his labrum, knock on wood, and then he wants to trade him. All of a sudden, that person's no longer a trade partner. So I have agreed to do that in my. I guess I'm in an advisor role now.
Top 10 pick. Who am I taking?
What number pick are you? Do you know yet?
We don't know. We don't do that. But if I have
Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
pick. I like that pick. But I also do like the pick of, obviously we're dealing with speed scarcity. So definitely,
if you have number 1 overall, you're still taking Mike Trout. If you're not taking Mike Trout, don't speak to me. Don't speak to me.
I'll say Mookie Betts.
Okay, well, I'm going to
just for the fact of, as much as we love Mike Trout, Jersey native,
I'm cutting you off.
He has gotten hurt the past.
Who's the best player in baseball?
Mike Trout.
Okay,
but I have to go by lineup and all that other stuff. And
that's fair. He has more lineup protection. But on that note, I'm with you. He does have, but on that note. I will like to close this out. For all of you viewers and audience members who always listen to us, please continue to subscribe on our YouTube page, JFP Sports, and on Instagram as well. Continue to follow us day in, day out with breaking news. Joe Puma is great with that stuff, keeping you guys up to date.
Ryan Fitzpatrick to Miami. The guy never doesn't have a job.
Yeah, right. He always is playing.
I want to grow up to be him.
But thank you, and as the great Dr. Seuss said,
don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Till next time, folks.